Okay, for your introduction, your structure is here. This is from your task sheet, and that's just really what you need to follow. Approximately 80 to 100 words, and this isn't necessarily a prescribed order that it has to go in. As long as it is inclusive of all these things, that should be fine. So as you'll see here, the name of the book is my heading. The author has been placed underneath with the year as well in brackets, and then I've also put the publisher and the price. That's not listed here, but please ensure that you do that because it actually is a part of your writing style guide requirements. You'll notice that the heading is bold and slightly larger than the rest of your writing. As I've just said here, the author and year published goes underneath it. The year published is in brackets, just like over here. Publisher and price. This goes back to a smaller font and it's no longer bold. We also have a drop cap, which makes it bigger. That's a feature that you have to actually insert to achieve, not just make it a bigger size in your font. If you need to know how to do that, just ask in class. You also need to remember to write in 2 columns, so I recommend inserting your columns first before typing everything. That way your formatting's not going to go funny after you've typed it all. Now, you need to make sure that your opinion of the book is very clear straight from the start in your introduction, and that's what your thesis is. So what also goes in your introduction is where you introduce the book, the kind of genre it might be, and whether, what happened and whether it was a worthwhile read or not. You might want to open with a quote or something to hook in the attention of your readers here at the start. You don't have to, but it might be a nice way to grab the attention of your readers. It might be a quote from the book, or it might be a quote from someone else about the book. It might just be a quote about reading perhaps, or, that time period or something. It's up to you. So here we give a little bit of a lowdown on the plot of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I've got lots of opinionated words in there. We've also got some examples from the novel, but it all flows nicely. But at the end here, make sure my thesis is very clear. So Dahl's classic novel invites the readers of all ages into a fictional world that is well worth the read. So clearly my opinion of this book is good, otherwise I wouldn't have called it a classic. I've said sort of what age group as well. I've sort of said what kind of genre or what the story is about, and that it is definitely well worth the read. Okay, so up here it indicates sort of a basic plot line of the story without giving up too much, because you do have a paragraph on plot next. So this needs to just be short and sweet, 80 words, and we need to know exactly what your opinion is. You do not necessarily have to give a positive book review. You can give a negative book review, but you've got to have the evidence to support it, not that you just didn't like it. So be very careful in how you choose to argue what you want to argue throughout.